One percenters, welcome back, man. You just got done last week learning about your brand keys. I hope all of you picked out 3 really good brand keys. And again, your brand keys are set there to give you guidance and give you exact intent upon what to begin making content for, what to begin telling people you stand for, what to begin showing people you stand for, and adding value to those different brand keys so people understand, hey, this person knows this person is an expert in this person comes from this, they've been through this, they've experienced this, you know what I mean? Or this is what this person loves. Like, your brand keys are set up to show the world who you are. The algorithm is always going to carry whatever your brand keys are to the people who identify with those things. Perfect example. If I like a lot of twerking videos on my Instagram timeline, guess what's going to start happening? I'm going to get all sorts of twerking videos on my Instagram timeline. Versus if I like a lot of entrepreneurship, a lot of different coaches speaking to entrepreneurships, if I start liking things like that, guess what? The algorithm is going to say, this person must love entrepreneurship content, and they're going to start showing me entrepreneurship content. So if one of your brand keys are you're a health foodie and you love to eat healthy food, guess what? When you make health food content, it's going to go out there to the world and show everybody in the world that loves health food your content, and that is how you begin attracting your audience. That's why you always have to stay on brand so you don't get mixed people or send mixed messages to the algorithm and they don't know where to send you, and you won't be able to build an audience. So with that being said, I want to show you guys exactly the formula we use to make content for our brand. We can call it branded content. It is a triangle method. I'm going to break it down to you this week. To all my 1%ers, this is our triangle method. Here we go. We have our brand at the top. Next, we have our lyrics, and then we have our visual. When we are creating a piece of content, it always starts with the brand. Okay, I'm going to use one brand key for this entire example, and I'm going to use my entrepreneurship. If one brand key is entrepreneurship, the next thing I need to do, I'm an artist in this scenario, by the way. I'm not an executive, I'm an artist. But as an artist, one of my brand keys is entrepreneurship. So what do? The first thing I do is I go into my catalog and I look at all my songs and I say, what lyrics do I have that speak to me being an entrepreneur? So, for example, it can be a song that's about partying, but if there are 2 or 3 bars in there where I say, just counted 200,000, about 10,000 dubs, entrepreneurship got me rich, that's why I'm up in this club. Ain't never had a boss, that's why I'm standing on couches. Ain't never signed a deal, even my lawyer could vouch this. All right, so boom. Let's say I took those 4 bars because those speak directly to entrepreneurship. Even though it might be a song about partying in a club, I'm looking for the lyrics that speak to my brand keys. And so I'm going to go through my whole catalog. I'm going to find those timestamps, meaning that part of the song where I say those lyrics that speak to entrepreneurship. So now, boom, I got my bars about 200,000 entrepreneurship in the club, right? Then I'm going to take the visuals that match that. You know what I mean? So then maybe I repurpose. Maybe my boy just happened to have a video he took of me in the club that he put in his stories one time. And I'm going to say, yo, bro, send me that video of me in the club. Now, my brand key is entrepreneurship. I've identified some lyrics in one of my songs about entrepreneurship, and I repurposed a video from one of my homeboys' phone. I'm going to take that visual, I'm going to overlay it with these lyrics, and then I'm going to get to the centerpiece, which is the story. So the story is always going to be told in the form of a headline. Let me write that down. The story is going to be told in the form of a headline, the copy that we put on it. So stay with me here. This is one piece of content that we're creating, but I'm showing you how to create content, how to create branded content, on brand content using your brand keys. So we got our lyrics about entrepreneurship in the club. We got our repurposed video that we got from our guy who took when we were in the club one time with him. And we're going to put on the headline, we're going to talk in TikTok language, either POV this or win that. I think for this headline, we'll go for when you start a business for $200 and now you're up 200,000. That would be my headline. My headline would be when I started business for 200 and now I'm up 200,000. That is my headline because it matches perfectly. It matches perfectly with my lyrics, matches perfectly with the visual, and it's on brand for me. So I've completed the triangle of one piece of content. That is how I make viral content because I promise you that's something very shareable because people are going to aspire to be able to make 200,000 off of their business. And guess what? Now people are even going to want to use my sound because they're going to want to put their content behind my sound. They're going to take those lyrics and they say, I can relate to those lyrics. Let me make a piece of content to that visual. So that is what we're going for when we begin to make content. Hopefully if I break down why this is so important, you guys will have a good understanding. Number one, starting with the brand keys. We did a whole week class on that last week, so we don't have to start there. Let's start with why the lyrics are so important. When you're making content, especially as an artist and you're making content to your lyrics, you have to understand that the way that people make content nowadays is they'll take a video from their phone or they'll be out, feel like they're looking cute, and they take a video. What they're gonna do is they're gonna go to the search bar and they're gonna search for a song that matches their visual. Now, this is where you have the opportunity to provide them that song. Everybody is searching, search engine optimization. Let's put that under lyrics, SEO. Everybody is using the search engine. And so literally they may not even know the name of a song, but they'll search for the lyrics. They may put in looking cute, or they may put in dinner song. They may put in partying in the club. They may put in motivational song. They may put in entrepreneurship. And they do this searching for the right sound to match their video. And so that's why the lyrics have become so important, because they care more about what the video is saying, because they want the lyrics to match their visual. That is what they are searching for. They're searching for lyrics to match their visual. They're searching for that perfect song or those perfect lyrics to match what they've done in their visual. And so that's why lyrics have become so important. And that's why as artists, our first job when we're creating our timestamps is to find the best lyrics that are on brand with us, so we can build up our brand and we can find other people who are entrepreneurs that will want to use our specific lyrics. If we have a bunch of entrepreneurs following us, guess what? When we drop that timestamp, a bunch of entrepreneurs are going to want to use those because they probably already have visuals of them that match those lyrics. So the lyrics are so important because people use it for search engine optimization. For people use it in the search engine. Now, here's another clue for you guys. That means you need to start naming your songs. What's the best word for it? You need to start naming your songs on the nose, on the dot. So you can't have a love song and call it 11:45. Why? Because when people are searching for a love song, they probably won't find your song. And so you want to be specific. If this love song is about Valentine's Day, and instead of calling it 11:45, call it something to do with Valentine's Day. So that way, when people are searching for Valentine's Day music to match their visual, they will find your song. So you always want to be on the nose, or name it what the lyrics say. So you either name it specifically to what the song is about and or specifically what the lyrics are. A perfect example of this is Manny Wells. He has a song called Magic, but the prominent lyrics are Take It Easy, Baby. So we said we're going to name the song Take It Easy. And that's when the song took off, because people were able to start searching it by the name or by the words they were hearing versus whatever we decided to name it. So instead of 11:45, call it Valentine's Day song. In our situation, instead of calling it Magic, we called it Take It Easy. And so the lyrics and the title are very important. And then lastly, the visual. So when you guys are picking visuals for your content, you want to have a visual that speaks to the lyrics. Like you can't have lyrics about entrepreneurship and you just be sitting in the car. Like, how does that visually speak to entrepreneurship? You know what I mean? If the lyrics are talking about you partying in the club, how does sitting in the car visually speak to that? You need to make sure the visual matches the lyrics and it's always on brand. It's always aligning with your brand keys. And then when you're putting the headline, and I'll even put under that so we're clear, not just headline, story. The headline is always telling the story. When I said we turned 200 into 200,000, now I might have started that business for $0. I may have been dead broke, but 200 to 200,000 just sounded better. And I won't lie about that to you guys. But at the end of the day, when you're a writer, you're telling a story. You understand what I'm saying? And the story still matches. $200, $200 and $0, pretty much the same thing. But you're telling that story. Like, you have to be able, when somebody's writing a movie based on a true story, you know why it says based on a true story? Because there are parts in there that they had to emphasize to make sure that story hit, to make sure that headline hit. So I'm not telling you to lie, but when you're doing these headlines, you need to be thinking, what's shareable? What are people going to share? The number one way to go viral, and really the only way to go viral, is if you post something that's worth sharing. You go viral when many people share the post. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're telling that story via your headline, keep that in mind, and always keep the brand in mind on top. Like, I'm telling the story of the brand. Whatever my brand key is, this is my opportunity to tell that story. So let's reiterate the triangle. The triangle is, we have our brand keys. We've created them. The next thing we need when it comes to creating our content, we know that we have to have lyrics that match the brand keys, that match whatever brand key we're trying to promote in this piece of content. So go through your catalog. And if you don't have songs, if you say, man, my brand keys are about being healthy, but none of my songs speak to that, then guess what it's time to do? It's time to go write some songs that speak to that. If you want that to be your brand, you need to stand on that in your music. So if you don't have those songs, make those songs. If you don't have those visuals, make those visuals. But a lot of times, if you're living the life, which is why it became your brand key, you're going to have plenty of stuff in your phone already speaking to that, but either repurpose from what's in your phone or go and create those visuals. But that's what you have to do. You have to have the music that matches the brands, aka the lyrics that match the brands, and you have to create visuals that match the brand. And then the final job is to tell the story via headline. Not all content needs a headline. So I'm not telling you to put a headline on every piece of content, but you have to discern which content you need to tell a story on and which content speaks for itself. And so that's up to you to discern. I like to put headlines on most of my content, and then there is some content that I'm just like, this speaks for itself, especially direct marketing. Most of the time, almost 99% of the time, direct marketing doesn't need a headline. Usually headlines come into place with indirect marketing. But it's up to you. It's up to your discretion. I won't tell you when and when not to use a headline, because every chance you get to tell your story is a good opportunity to take that shot. So the triangle is, I have my brand keys, I find the lyrics that match my brand keys, I find the visuals that match my brand keys, and I tell my story. If I do all of this in one piece of content, the likelihood of it going viral increases, I would say, 100-fold. So make sure when you're creating what we'll call branded content, you're following the triangle. All right, man. I'll see you guys on Thursday as we discuss this, but I wanted to give you exactly how we do it. And now you have it, man, because you are a 1%er. Make sure you tell everybody you know about this community, because we're the only ones giving out this type of information, man. I already know that to be true. I'm sure you know that to be true. Share this with your friends. You do not want to be successful alone. Being successful alone is very lonely when you're the only one who can afford those vacations or afford those meals, and you end up paying for everybody's vacation and everybody's meals. I'm only speaking from personal experience. So trust me, bring the people up around you, because you don't want to be the only one. Share this information. Let people know. Join the 1% and become a 1%er, because this is where you're getting the best jewels, the best gems. We're turning you into the top 1% of the industry, man. I'll see you guys Thursday as we discuss our branded content. All right, see you Thursday.